My name is Cassy Summers. Welcome to the Curious Universe podcast. Welcome to the Curious Universe podcast. I hope you're doing well today. And well, let's chat about physical time with the earth. So, one of the things I love about summer, I live in Canada, so it can get cold in the winter and even some of the fall months. But summer, and I love warmth. Not everyone loves like hot, and I do. I've always been drawn to like warmer temperatures. So I love being out with the earth physically. So there's a difference. Like I still go for walks in the winter and in the fall, but I've got like all my gear on and my winter boots and there's a less of a physical engagement with the earth. Whereas in the summer, you're lying like on the beach, you're in the water. Me and my kiddo, we do earthing every day. So we go and just put our bare feet on the ground, hug a tree, that kind of stuff. Um, there's this man, this huge contribution, and I'm really kind of acknowledging it more this year than ever, of the physical interaction with the earth. It's like I love looking at the earth. I have this big, beautiful window right here, right behind my laptop. So I see these huge trees over here, and then there's like mountains just over there. Beautiful blue sky today. And so here I am engaging with it energetically, and I'm able to like look out and like say hi to the trees and communicate with them. But when I actually involve my body in this different way of physical interaction, I notice so much change with my physical body. Who knew? So the earthing, the lying on the earth, people that they garden and they feel like the soil with their hands. I know some people wear gloves because I get it, it gets messy, but often I'm like in there with my hands and touching the vegetables or the flowers. There's this different kind of physical exchange going on. And if you look into science, there's all sorts of things about like you know photons and like where you actually like receive electrons and release them. There's all kinds of cool stuff out there. You look into that if you want to. But the energetic physicality of it is kind of what I wanted to explore today and look at how could you be more aware of your body asking for this type of interaction. Be more aware of what occurs for your body when you have it, and what occurs for the earth when I know it's crazy to think that the earth would be so grateful and the earth would receive so much from your physical interaction too. Mm. It's amazing because during I'm going to say the COVID word, sorry. During COVID, I, because you just couldn't leave the house, I was going stir crazy. So I'd go and walk my creek like every day. And it created so much peace for me and so much contribution. As I went along, I would like touch the trees and I touch, like, I'm very like sensory. So I'm like always like playing with the plants and I like to feel the rocks with my bare feet and put my feet in the creek and I'm just like all over the place, right? And so I did that for like a year, like almost every day. And then things kind of got crazy, and I hadn't been there for 6 months or 8 months or more. I just had been really, really busy. And I remember going back and looking and being like, whoa, it's like there's less awakened magic here, which was very surprising to me because I never, it didn't occur to me that my physical engagement with this creek was creating anything, really. But I saw it, like I witnessed it, and I was just kind of like struck by um what I was witnessing. So then I was like, okay, let's experiment. I do like a good experiment. So then I just spent like a week going to the creek every day and noticed this awakening, this movement, this like um everything started to become more vibrant and open and expand out. It's so, this is one of the gifts of the earth, is that it will always show you the greatness of you. Like it's never trying to pretend you're like not so great, in the dating world where it's like don't look too into her or him, like don't appear to be too excited. um the earth doesn't do that, it doesn't play hard to get. It doesn't try and diminish your contribution. It will actually always show you and acknowledge the gift of you. And that's what the creek did for me. It was like, whoa, I matter to the earth, and not just like me the being, but me, my body matter, because I'm always kind of energetically engaging with that creek because it's like really close to my home, and it just, I tap into it and just like relaxes me and makes me feel amazing. So I'm often kind of just tapping in there and playing, but to actually bring my body there and to physically engage, it never occurred to me what a gift that was to the earth. So, where are you physically engaging with the earth? Or are you the kind of person where you'll go for a hike, but you have like your rubber shoes on that separate you from the physicalness of it? You walk up there and then you walk down, and it's more like a gym experience than it is actually like physically being with the mountain, physically being with the earth. I have this like habit, especially when I'm traveling, of like taking off my shoes and like wanting to put my feet on the land wherever I am. I remember being in New York in Central Park, and oh my God, it's, I just love it so much. And something I've never seen, because Central Park is in so many movies, but there's these crazy rock formations that actually sprout out of the earth, and I never had seen that in any um, movies or shows. So I was like, "What is this? I didn't even know this existed." And as I was feeling it, I'm like, "It feels like a creature, like a magical creature," and I just wanted to lie on it. And so I take off my shoes and I'm like on it, and just like, and people are there like having their lunch, and I'm like crawling all over this beautiful rock. But it was this very potent exchange of energy between me, like, and my physical body and this part of the earth. It was so cool. When I went to India, I had to put my feet on the beach there. So it's like this contribution of the physical engagement of your body with the earth. What would it be like if you introduced more of that in your life? What would it be like if you allowed yourself to acknowledge the gift that your body is to the earth and the gift the earth is to your body? Anything that does not allow that times a godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, pole buds, creations, bases, and meows. If you're new to the show, or if you've never heard of Access Consciousness before, that was the Access Consciousness clearing statement. I use it on the show all the time. It's just a way to clear out energy. But if you want more information, please go to theclearingstatement.com. There's a whole video on it from the co-founder of Access Consciousness. But here we're just going to use it like a magic wand, essentially. So part of this part of this conversation is an acknowledgement piece, is to get you to look at where has your body, and not necessarily from the doing, because you could look at, let's say a garden is a great example. Maybe you put a lot of work into your garden and you're there and you're tilling and you're doing the stuff. At the end of the day, you're like, wow, I can really see that I made a difference because I physically moved stuff. I dug stuff up. I planted things. And so you worked with your hands. You included your body to create something different, right? But what about when you're just being? How often do you acknowledge that piece? Like me with the creek. Like I wasn't pulling up weeds. I wasn't doing any of that. I would just play and like touch everything and sit there and allow my body to be that receiver of energies and gifter of energies. Because little side trail here for a minute is that receiving from the earth and receiving energies from the earth is just as much of a contribution as gifting. So the more energies you can receive from the earth, woo, that just did something. Um, the greater contribution you're being. Hmm. Yeah, cool. So, acknowledgement. So, we come to this piece of acknowledgement, all right? Of acknowledging, because the thing is, if you don't acknowledge what contribution you are, then you you can it can create some really wonky stuff in your world because on a conscious space you have awareness of everything of all time, right? So consciously you have this awareness. Cognitively you're negating it. You're not acknowledging the contribution that you're being. And then so how much of that is almost like living a lie of what's true, and so then you're cutting off what you could be receiving because knowing, being, receiving, and perceiving are all interconnected, right? Whew, right, wrong, good, bad, bok, bada, all 100, shorts, boys, bobs, creation, species, and beyond. So that acknowledgement piece is like you're acknowledging what you're perceiving, you're acknowledging what you know, then you can step into more receiving of what you're perceiving, which expands your being. Just by touching a tree. So simple. By suntanning, lying out, playing in the grass, you know? Yeah, cool. So, what physical actualization of something totally beyond this reality are you and your body capable of if you would only have the physical interaction with the earth that you've been avoiding? And anything that doesn't allow that times a godzillion, we just everything that brings up times a godzillion, we destroy and create it, please, right, wrong, good, bad, bok, bot, all 100, shorts, boys, bubbles, creation, species, and beyonds. I know a lot of people that, and I've had summers where I barely got out. I like so rarely got out to be with the earth. And this summer, I made like a commitment to my body, to the earth, and to myself to change that. And already I mean, I've been doing the earthing for years, but that's like, you know, a little bit of time a day, depending on the day and what's going on. So I've committed to even more this year. So I've been hiking every week. I've been spending more time out earthing and really being present. It's not just simply like, okay, my feet are here and I'm like my mind's on some other thing, right? Actually like feeling the earth with my body. Hi, earth. And when I've been out and like walking or engaging, even if I'm downtown and walking around, if I see a tree, I'm grabbing it, like I'm touching it, like I'm having a physical interaction. Whew. So to really commit to being that contribution with the earth and really commit to the gift that that is for my body. Um, over the last few years, I've had just such a different level of gratitude for my body and a desire to honor it differently. With food, obviously, that's a big one. Food, sleep, movement. And this other piece of the earth has come in the last couple of months where I just realized it's such an honoring of my body to physically engage with the earth. What honoring of your body with the earth have you not yet chosen? That if you would choose it, would create another possibility for you. And anything that doesn't allow that, we destroy and create it, please. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 100, shorts, boys, pull bads, creations, bases, and beyonds. However that shows up for you. Maybe you might be sensory and you hate the feel of grass, and that is totally fair. It's prickly. You can find softer grass. I have to do that for my kiddo. He's autistic and he does not like the feel of prickly grass. But there are like patches of like softer stuff, so we play there. And you can ask the earth too, like, hey, can you create softness here for me? You could put your feet in soil or just straight on like dirt, sand, if you like the feel of sand. And then again, like there's trees, there's plants, there's um flowers, and just what if you had that physical interaction with them? And of course, you have to be aware of like not damaging. Well, I want to be aware. You don't have to be aware. I don't desire to damage like the flowers or the leaves that I'm engaging with. Again, it's about being a contribution, right? So when my physical interaction with the leaves would travel through the whole system of the tree, contributing to everything there. Just like if someone were to like gently touch your arm, your whole body receives that, not just this spot on your skin, right? Your whole body can receive that touch. That's where we have, all these connector pieces. Um, what if like you engaging, and it's kind of cool because the more we learn about forests and nature and how it works, like it's all interconnected, whether it's through roots or the the psyllium, mycelium, all the things, um the receptors, everything, and we're learning more and more and more. Like still we don't have it all. um What if your engagement with one tree would physically contribute to an entire forest? I'm actually going to Vancouver Island this summer. I'm so excited for it. If you don't know about the island, you should Google it because it's just this very magical, beautiful place. And the kids and I are looking at going on some fun adventures and seeing like what nature we can explore there. They have like 800-year-old trees, just like such beauty. And then so I'm playing with that question of what honoring can I be of the earth when I'm there? Like what would be really honoring of the earth, and I actually created a bars class from that inspiration when I asked like what could I contribute to the earth down here? And I got an access consciousness bars class, which is funny because we will be doing it inside. So I rented a room at a hotel and we'll be having the class in that hotel, but the consciousness that we will create will expand out and contribute to the earth. And then also, what physical honoring and physical contribution can I be to the earth when I'm down there? And can I receive from the earth when I'm down there? These are all the things that I've been playing with. And the reason I'm bringing this up are questions that you could start to play with and engage with. So the next time you're like, oh, I'm going to go out, like, what are your routines when you go for a walk or when you go, maybe taking the baby out? Are you hitting the like in the stroller? Why couldn't I think of that word? Are you like, okay, I want the smooth path. I'm gonna go on like the concrete, this man-made thing, right? Which is fine. Or are you gonna go out and find like the dirt path? Are you gonna go out onto the grass? Are you going to like what are the choices that you're making when you're engaging? Maybe you're paddle boarding. Are you being with the earth when you're doing it? Are you like, I'm doing paddle boarding, look at me doing paddle boarding? Not to make you wrong, but often we get into these types of routine things, and we're doing more of a mental doing than a being. So when you're having a physical interaction with the earth, are you being with it? Are you doing it? Are you doing the interaction or are you being with it? I think of rock climbers, right? And some of them have these incredible, I want to say conversations with the mountains that they're scaling, and it's really beautiful to see. And others, it's more like they could just be in a gym as much as they're on a mountain. Like it's just a challenge. Um, how are you with the earth? What are your physical engagements like? And are you willing to, even if they're already wonderful, like mine have been, I'm asking for more. I'm asking to like increase that for my body as an honoring of my body and as an honoring of the earth. I actually had this moment yesterday, and sometimes I get like just so vulnerable, I guess. And I got like really, really vulnerable with how much I cared for the earth. And I remember just tearing up. And I'm like, this is so silly to be tearing up in the acknowledgement of how much you care for the earth. I've had that with partners. I've been like, oh my God, my babies, like, you just have such affection and adoration for them. And you're looking at their beautiful little faces. And I've teared up with just so much caring for them, you know? I've had that with partners. And I've just been like, I'm just so in love. And to have that with the earth seems rather silly, yet it's just so true for me. And I realized like where I had kind of put that away, um, because of probably some judgments I received as a kid, being that way and people thinking it was super weird. And then I decided for a while I was going to try not to be weird. I mean, now I just am and I embrace it. But I had this beautiful moment of like such vulnerability and tearing up over my caring for the earth and allowing myself to care that much. Because for some of us, when we care so much about something and it's being damaged, it's challenging. It's like if you care so much about let's take that island again. So, a few years ago on Vancouver Island, these old growth forests were being decimated. They were literally logging them, which is very like, it makes me a little nauseous. We have so much forestry in here in Canada and so many places where you could really like consciously um use the trees, right? And we use the trees for building, for all sorts of things, furniture. And then there's going in and cutting out from these old growth forests that we so require to sustain, we so require to honor. And to allow yourself to care that deeply about something that you can't actually control. You can't stop the devastation. Many people did. So many people, they tied themselves to trees, they picketed, I'm just so grateful for them and their willingness to like commit to that. Um, so where have you tucked away your caring for the earth because you felt like it's too hard to witness what's going on? There's nothing you can do to change it, as though like the caring was going to swallow you up, rather than that caring actually being this, like, what if part of your caring is the contribution the earth is asking for? And in that, like, have you ever been touched from caring? Okay, so someone touches you from a space of caring, and someone touches you from a taking or a not caring or an anger. It's so different, right? So when you like allow yourself to access like this, for me, it's like this deep well, like this infinite well of caring. And I touch the earth from that space. What is that like? What is it like for you when you do that? Like, what if you cared about every blade of grass? What if you cared about like every grain of sand? What if you cared about the lakes and the oceans? And what if your caring didn't have to be tied to devastation? You know, what if the caring itself was the contribution that is going to change things beyond anything you can imagine? Like when I go for this walk on this creek, it's coming alive, it's thriving just from me being there engaging with it. It doesn't make any sense cognitively. Um, Yet I witnessed it and it is true. So now if I walk that creek and I allowed that, like all that caring to spill out in that engagement, wow. Sorry, just having that awareness of like the difference that that would even be for the land there, the earth there. What is it like for you? What are you willing to be with the earth with your caring? That doesn't mean sadness. It doesn't mean that we dwell on these things. Joy is what's going to heal the earth. Laughter, caring, kindness. Our tears, yes, sometimes that can be a contribution. And what if that was like 1% of the contribution and the majority of it was your joy, was your interaction, was your willingness to play and touch and be and receive from the earth? What if everything is the opposite of what it appears to be? What if what we've been told isn't exactly true and there's just so many different possibilities out there? And it could be just as simple as this summer, once, twice, maybe three times, physically engaging with the earth, just being present, just physically touching it and being with it with no point of view, no expectation that, oh my God, like gold's gonna sprout from these trees all of a sudden. It's like just be and see what a gift that is for your body as well. And you can even ask your body, like, body, where would you like to go and physically engage with the earth today? Like, what's your body aware of with the earth? Whew. What if it knows? Thank you so much for exploring this topic with me here, the Curious Universe podcast, where we bypass the structures of reality so you can create and have your own reality. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Thank you for exploring the Curious Universe with me. Your curiosity matters. And what if together we could create a greater, more curious world?